Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time. We are back with the famous Ryan Pineda. How you doing, Ryan?
Michael, good to see you again, man.
Nice to see you as well. So if I understand in living vicariously, you are doing this from Big Bear, if I understand that right this morning.
I am in Big Bear, California, one of the first places I started buying rentals.
Yeah. Back in the day, back in the day. Well, this first video,
Yeah.
Ryan, I'd love to talk about what you just did. You just or your book is just being released. You're taking pre-orders, if I understand, on Amazon.
hmm
And
Yep.
as somebody who has written a book, I know what a heavy lift that is. So, what was the inspiration to tackle such a big occasion? Why write a book?
Yeah, I wrote my first book back in 2018 called Flip Your Future. And man, it was a lot of work, but it was well worth it. I ended up writing it because I kept getting asked so much how to flip houses. And so at the time I didn't have coaching or courses or any of that stuff. I'm like, I'll just write a book and give it to people. And, it was great. Did a lot of cool things. As time went on, though, I never felt the urge to write another book until recently. I ended up, you know, getting asked many times as my career progressed. They were like, dude, how do you manage all these businesses? How do you keep growing on social media? How do you still have time with your family? And, you're holding these Bible studies and you're staying in shape. Like, it doesn't make sense. And I was like, well, if I keep getting asked this so much, that means people want to know. And so I ended up creating a course that I called the Wealth Builder Academy. And, I launched this movement called the Wealthy Way around this time last year. And the reception to that was huge. We had about 30,000 people download the course.
Wow.
Yeah, we created a free planner software so people could, track their goals, write in their journal, all online and free. And I've been using it every day this year, and it's been a game changer. So, I gave it all away for free, and the
Mm-hmm.
reception was great. And, this year was really just about seeing what people were saying about it, ways we could improve it, how to get better before I really kind of went into phase two of this Wealthy Way brand. So, yeah, now we're on to phase two. I rebranded my podcast to the Wealthy Way. We are making that planner app into a mobile app. So that'll be out shortly.
Wow.
And then, I turned the course into a book. And so, we opened up the book for pre-sale a couple of weeks ago. It's been number one on entrepreneurship for ever since it got released.
Yeah,
And
congrats.
thank you. And, it comes out, I don't know when this podcast will air, but it comes out December 13th. So by the time this airs, probably be out. And
Yeah.
um, super excited about it. But we wanted to make it like a no-brainer for people to go with the ethos of what we were doing anyway with the course a year ago. And so it's 99 cents. Anybody can get it. And on top of that, to just like bring it even one level further, I created a brand new course called Business Builder Academy,
Mm.
which I guess as my career has gone on, I've gone from more of, just being known as a real estate investor to being an entrepreneur. And
Yeah.
so I wanted to create a course teaching people everything there is to know about starting a business, sales, marketing, operations, hiring, firing, creating products, pricing products, everything to know about branding and logos and all the stuff that's made my businesses successful. I put it in that course, and we're giving it away for free to anyone who just leaves a review for the book. So super excited about the launch, man.
Wow, that is quite a thing, and it's been fun. We've talked probably once a year for 2 or 3 years. I talked to you about Future Flipper, then we rolled out, the Wealthy Way app when that was coming out, and now
Yep.
here it's been fun to watch you from afar and admire both your focus, your drive, but really it all seems to be anchored on giving, right? As an outsider, somebody's talked to you for 3 or 4 hours. It does seem you lead with giving. Was that natural, or do you have to work on that? Is that just who you are at your core?
I don't want to say it's who I've always been, truthfully. I mean, look, I think as a Christian, God calls us to give in many things with our money, with our time, to serve other people. And, my journey in faith has always been hopefully improving, right? I don't want to be declining, but, I think too, it comes from once you achieve success, you also start to realize like, man, okay, I've done everything I want for me.
Right.
What do I do next? And it's interesting because in business has gotten easier knowing you can turn people away, right? So it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, you don't have to work with us. It doesn't really matter to us either way. And then people want to work with you even more, right?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
just like knowing, yeah, I can put out all this content for free. I can just give away all the secrets. I can
Right.
do a book that, a book in a software that have literally cost me six figures to produce and just give it away for 99 cents
Mm.
because I don't need to make money there. And the
Right.
crazy thing that happens is when you do lead with giving, though, somehow it just keeps coming back to you. And
I
that's
agree.
kind of what's happened.
Yeah. No, I agree. And it's been fun to watch and see I don't know, evolution, you climbing the mountain, whatever you want to be. You are remarkably consistent in your giving, which is cool. I actually like the subtitle of your book. It's Don't Go Broke Trying to Get Rich. Tell us what that means to you.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about what the book's about. We went into this
Yeah.
whole other stuff. Yeah, so basically, the problem I've seen in my career now is that I've met a lot of successful, I put with air quotes,
Hmm.
entrepreneurs and investors, at least on the outside, right? They own all
Right.
these units, they got successful businesses, they got nice cars, they got all these cool things. And then when I meet them in person, I'm like, bro, these guys are miserable. And it became like a common thing I saw, especially amongst influencers, man. Like people really not happy with their lives. And, I started to think like, man, why is that? And it became clear to me it's just like that they're only successful in one area of life. Life is so much more than just money and business.
Mm-hmm.
And I've known that intuitively for a long time, and I think that just comes back to my faith, right? In the Christian faith, there's a very set priority. It's God first, even above your wife and your kids. It's then your family. It's then the people around you, and then it's your business and everything. And so I made the decision even when we were broke. I was like, hey, you know what? Like I'm just gonna not work weekends. I want to spend time with my wife. We didn't have money. We didn't have kids. We just would hang out and enjoy each other. We would always, do Bible studies and go to church and, try to serve however we could. We did Sunday school for a long time, helping fourth and fifth graders. And so, like, even when I was broke, we were still kind of always doing that first. And then it just so happened later on in life, I started to get good at business. It just, it's not like I really liked real estate or anything. It's just like it happened to come about. I got good at it. And it was the first time in my life I really made money.
Hmm.
And so, as my real estate career grew, it never like changed. I was never like all of a sudden just driven by the next deal or making more money. I was like, yeah, I want to be as great as I can at real estate, but I also want to be a great husband and a great father. I also want to be a great servant. I also want to be a great, athlete. I grew up playing sports. I was a pro baseball player. And so even to this day, I'm 33 now. It's been 5 years since I've retired. I'm in the exact same shape. I don't need to be in pro athlete shape, but that's just ingrained in who I am, that I want to have a great, physique, and I don't want my body to deteriorate. And so just over the years, like the discipline and consistency you talked about, I think is a reflection from all the other things being good. If my health is good, I can go crush it in business. I'm not going to get tired and mind fog and all this stuff all these other guys get because they're out of shape. You
Hmm.
know, because my family life is good, God willing, I'm not going to be thinking about that while I'm working, right? I see a lot of guys who have family problems, they're going through things and it affects their work. It just does. Um, and then, faith based wise, this is the biggest one I see. A lot of people just are always feeling like that void and they don't
Yeah.
have purpose. And I'm like, yeah, you don't have Jesus. Like, I know why you don't. And everyone will tell you, like, you can fulfill it with more hobbies or having fun or more money. Or I'm like, bro, but it's not going to work. You can keep doing it.
Yeah.
I've seen it time and time again. And so overall, the more I looked at it and the more I kind of like looked at my life and how content I have been, no matter how much money I've had, no matter if I got released by the Oakland A's and my pro dream was over, right? It didn't impact my identity of who I was. And no matter what people say about me in the comments or, on anything, I don't let it take away from my identity because I know who I am. And, at the end of the day, that's kind of where the title or the subtitle of the book, Don't Go Broke Trying to Get Rich, comes from, is like so many people go broke in these other areas of life trying to gain financial wealth, when in reality, financial wealth should not be the goal. It should just be one part of the goal.
Yeah. So that's what they're going to get, right? Because again, I think I will post this video today. So this is the 12th. It will go out the day before the release. So that'll be cool. So people need to go get
Sweet.
it. They still can get it for 99 cents. I saw that this morning. So again, the wealthy way is not about dollars and cents only. It is about everything that you've talked about, being that balanced individual, being wealthy is not about money. It's about entire balanced life and being happy. Is that fair?
Definitely fair. And the one thing I'll add too is it's definitely a worthy goal, re-switching what the true definition of wealth is. And people could say, well, okay, I get that. I would like all that, right? And it's like, okay, I wouldn't be myself if I wasn't giving you also the step-by-step actions to get there, right? Because the one thing that I guess has helped me grow on social media is being able to like articulate very clearly step by step how to do something.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wanted to give everyone the step-by-step guide and the tools and everything needed to kind of live this wealthy way. And so, yeah, we go into a ton of things. Like the biggest thing I can say that is, I guess, the theme of how to live this way is getting really good at time management. And time management is one of those things like it's a lot more than just saying, oh, well, I'm going to do this at this time and this at that time. I'm not going to waste time. For you to be really great at something and to have, exponential growth and to really prioritize correctly, you have to get good at, picking and choosing what activities you want to do on a daily basis. Because think about it, right? Like, let's just say we both work 8 hours a day and your 8 hours you spend, let's just say you're super inefficient. You spend 2 hours on Facebook, just kind of like in between doing idle time, spend another 2 hours talking to people around the office and whatever. Then you spend 4 hours actually doing some work and getting things done. And it's kind of busy work too. You're like sending emails, you're doing some errands and all this stuff that's like, they do some impact, but maybe an hour a day, you're like doing some really maximum impact type stuff. You're out there actually closing a deal. You're out there working on a new product or service that's going to make you a lot of money, right? Well, for me, if I'm working 8 hours, but I'm doing it to the max, like I'm taking the 80-20 rule and really applying it to every hour of the day. And I'm saying, okay, hour one, what are we doing that's going to make maximum impact in the business, right? What else can I delegate? Like, because stuff has to get done in the business. There's no doubt about it. Like, there's busy work and crap that has to be done every single hour. But how do I, as the business owner, get out of like this $10 an hour task, $100 an hour task, even for me, $1,000 an hour task? How do I get out of those so I can focus on the $10,000, $100,000 an hour task? And that's kind of what I focus my time on. So it's like, man, how did this book come out? Well, I spent a lot of time throughout the year focusing on this book. How did we launch new companies this year? I spent a lot of time throughout the year working on these new companies, the branding, the products, building out the communities. How did we, put out all this content? Because when I put out content, it's simply me filming and doing everything to the max efficiency, building the systems around me so that I can walk on set, film, and I don't have to look at it ever again. But they edit it, they post it, they think of the thumbnails, the titles, everything's done, and it allows me to go on to the next hour of my day and be ultra efficient. And so, that's just one day. Imagine you do that for 1 year, 5 years. That's why you start to see separation between certain people and others, because they waste so much time being inefficient and not working on things that are going to make an impact. So this book's going to teach you how to do that.
Folks, go get the book today. It's 99 cents. You got 24 hours or so before the release. Get on the list. Wealthy Way. Don't go broke trying to get rich. Ryan, not that people need to know, but where would you like them to follow you?
Well, for that book and the course, I'd like them to go to wealthywaybook.com.
Okay.
That has the link to the book. And then also if you submit your review, like a screenshot, we'll give you the course for free. So that's how we're doing that. But yeah, if they want to follow me, I mean, I'm just on every single platform at Ryan Pineda. So pretty simple.
Yeah. Very cool. And it's wealthywaybook.com. Just make sure I put that in the notes.
Yep.
Very cool, man. Thanks again.